Welcome to this video. This is the Bradford City season preview for the 2022-23 season. It's a season that we're optimistic for. I'm just going to go through my predictions for Bradford City this season, where we're going to finish and who's going to be the standout players. I'm going to go through the top scorer, most assists, player of the season, young player of the season, surprise standout, the best signing, fan favourite and most improved player. I've been seeing them go through on social media. Please put what yours are in the comments down below. But first, this season it's supposed to be an optimistic season for us. We've been saying it for quite a few seasons now, and we are always this club that seems to be bantered in this league, because we always start off by saying how we think we're going to go up this season, and we end up coming mid-table. But I think everyone's saying it, but this has a different feel to it. What with Mark Hughes being our manager, Premier League manager, proven. The signings we're bringing in seem to be signings from the level above, or have got promotions either from this league or leagues above. So the recruitment seems better. Everything about the club does seem better. But I'm probably going to be the most pessimistic Bradford City fan out there, just because I think we're going to get onto it at the end. But the pressure playing for Bradford City is different to most other clubs. It's different to any other club in this division, from what I can think of. So we'll just get into that. So my top goal scorer this season is going to be Bradford Oliver. He's the player who everyone's talking about. Not even just City fans, but players, other fans, who have had him at their clubs, or other fans in this league and the league above, are thinking, well, maybe he could have got a move into League One, higher League One. He had a good season at Gillingham last season, and listening to what other people are saying, if you get crosses into a box, he will score goals. And what with Halliday at right back, from what I've seen of him, he does seem to be a right back who wants to put crosses into a box and get assists, and he could be one to get the most assists in the league this season. But Bradford Oliver's a big man up front, he's a force, and I think he will be our starting striker, so I've got to back him. Hopefully he'll get around that 20 goals a season, but it's not the be all and end all to get 20 goals a season. The most assists, I'm going with Chapman. He's probably going to be our starting winger, the one who I would probably say is definitely starting. He might not start against Doncaster, maybe the first few games, because he has a niggle, but he does seem to be that most creative player in them forward lines, and hopefully he'll get a few assists. But I think players like Jamie Walker could get quite a few, maybe a Smallwood, maybe someone off the other wing, maybe Osadebe, Issa, if he actually plays. I don't think I reckon Issa will probably play around 10 games this season, if that, because he's got another injury, and it's either his fault or there's something going on in his body where he's constantly getting injured. But from what I know, he won't get injured at Scunthorpe, so normally there is something with the player, whether he isn't feeling it right mentally and he's not going into tackles, or he's just not giving it in training. I don't know, there's something going on there with Issa, and this season was supposed to be a big season, and I don't think he's gonna. But maybe someone like Brad Halliday. I knew we were going to do that at one point. Brad Halliday, I think he could get our most assists this season. In right back, he's going to be bombing up that wing, and if we do play a diamond, he will be our outlet out wide. Same with forwards or Rydal in left back. So he could be up there as well. Player of the season for me, it probably will be Jamie Walker. I think he's going to be one of those players who will be chipped in with quite a lot of goals in that number 10 position. We haven't had it for a few seasons. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Paul Taylor, that type of player we had, was it under McCall? He might be that type of player who will score a few bangers, but I think he's a bit more of a professional than Taylor. But I think he could be that type of player, but also give a bit more, and he might get a few assists in there. So I think he could be, our star man this season, Jamie Walker. Young player, it depends who this goes to. If it means academy player or it means just general, who's going to be the best player who's under the age of 23. I mean, Kez could get it, Keane Scales if it's youth academy player. I think Staunton's going to Halifax, whether that's a loan or permanent. So I think Scales is probably the one who would be the best player from the academy. With Poynton going out on loan, I'd expect Charlie Wood will. But he has looked good in pre-season so far, and maybe Young on that left wing. I think he could be playing a few games off that left wing. He had a pretty good first half against Derby off that wing, and you know he does look a bit tricky as well. So he could also get it, but there won't be many young players playing this season who are under the age of 23 from the youth academy. Maybe it'll be next season when some maybe start to break through. The best signing, it's probably going to be Smallwood. I think he's the best signing in League 2 before ball's being kicked. Obviously, there's going to be flops in our team, and we'll have to see who it will be, because there's always a player who ain't going to work out, whether it's because of the system or they're just not good enough. And hopefully Smallwood ain't that player, but you know, if it goes how it should go, Smallwood will be the best signing in League 2, and probably our best signing too. Surprise standouts, it could be Osadebe. You know, Gillingham fans hate him for many reasons. Walsall fans were happy to see the back of him. But what we've seen in pre-season, he could either be brilliant for us or he could flop. It could go one way or the other. You know, what I've been hearing, he's got attitude problems. But Mark Hughes has worked with players before at a top level who have had attitude problems, so I don't think that'll be a problem for him. And maybe someone like Matty Platt, because before pre-season, you know, some fans were saying might be brought in a Barrow centre-back who, you know, isn't considered to be that good. But, you know, I like him. But that centre-back position, it looks really like it could go to anyone. And I think he would be the player who would start against Doncaster. No, I'm sorry. I think he would be the player who wouldn't be starting if Odesina was fit, because it don't really make sense if Critchlow don't, because why would Huddersfield loan him out? So you'd think any loan player who comes in would be starting, and with Odesina injured, I reckon that Platt could make that position his own. For whatever reason, Odesina won't be available, I don't think, for Doncaster. So with a few good games, maybe Mark Hughes could be a bit surprised that he could actually, you know, be an unstoppable force there, and he could make Hughes into a decision that he don't want to. But it is a healthy competition at that centre-back position. So maybe Platt could be it. So I'm going to go with Osadebe, just simply because of what Walsall and Gillingham and previous club fans are saying about him. I do think that Mark Hughes could get the very best out of him, and so far in pre-season it looks very good. Fan favourite could be anyone. I think it probably will be a Walker or a Chapman or maybe a Smallwood. You know, Smallwood, he might get stuck in and create going forward, which is something we need in that midfield, someone to control the game. We've missed that for years, probably going back Gary Jones. We've had a few, but no one comes anywhere near to get what Gary Jones did. Or maybe like Chapman or Walker, who might score a few bangers and get you off the edge of your seat. Or maybe a Halliday, you know, who might put a load of effort in going forward and a load of effort going back, and might chip in with a few assists going in that right back position. So it could be anyone, but I'm going to go with Walker. Most improved, I think for me it's Matty Foltz, who could be the most improved player next season. He didn't have a bad season next season, but last season, but it could go to anyone. It depends what you're giving it off, because for me it's off someone who could be average and then go to really good, and I think Foltz could make that jump next season. I think he'll make that position his own next season with Rydal out injured for the little... Well, I don't think he'll be fully fit for Saturday, because he hasn't really had a pre-season, Rydal, and Hughes might want to slowly bring him back into it, and if Foltz starts off really well, he could make that position his own, and then Hughes, you know, he'll be torn between the left back position, not only other areas in the pitch. So he could make that position his own, and he could really improve Matty Foltz. But talking apart from that, I've just seen that I've gone on 10 minutes about that. But I just want to touch on Mark Hughes. Other fans and the media are constantly questioning Mark Hughes, and you know, he's never managed at this level. I just think that's a load of crap, really. For a man to question a manager dropping down a few levels to manage a club, it don't make any difference to me. We might be saying, well, we shouldn't go for a manager who hasn't managed at the level, but for me, I think it's just other fans and the media trying to put pressure on us, because there's enough pressure on us already. But I think Hughes, what he brings is experience, and what we've seen already in that 6 months he's been here, he's really good at changing it up in game and making quick tactics to, if something working, he will change it up. We've played a 4-2-3-1 and a diamond so far under his tenure, and he's very quick at adapting. And I think if he can adapt in game, he can also adapt when he ain't in a match. And I think he can easily adapt to the level. And it's his experience, I think, it'll just overpower his the questions of him managing at this level. He can more than do it. Anyone can manage at any level as long as they're a good manager, and he's more than a good manager. So I just think that's a load of nonsense. We've got a big squad, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, especially with the 5 subs rule this season. I think we need a big squad. What with injuries we've had before in seasons, of late, with Isa, Ishmael, more. We've had a load of bad injuries and a bigger squad. We always have big squads, but this squad has got quality all over, and on paper it has anyway. We don't know who will start in the first game. We don't know what the formation will be, and it's exciting. And I think the big squad with 5 subs, it ain't going to cause divides, because players should get an even share of games. What with 46 games as well, I think the big squad ain't a problem, and people who are worried about that, a big squad is a good thing, because you can rotate, and you want more quality and injuries, like I say. Like I said before, there will be a flop. Last season it was probably Isa. We had a few. Frelke would, want the right back that we wanted. He has had a good pre-season, but he's going to be a flop, and I think that's the problem. Because whoever it is going to be, not every signing is going to work. There will be one player who don't fit in the system or don't work. It's just not going to happen where you sign 20 players, 15 players, and every single player has 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performances every game. There will be bad games, and there will be players who constantly have bad games, and like I said, there will be players who are injury prone who we don't even know about. And expectation and pressure playing for the club. We've seen players crack before. I think that's the difference though this season. We have signed players who have played at a bigger level and played at similar clubs, similar stadium capacity of club, and are used to the expectation. And we've got a manager who's used to the expectation. Let's not forget we had Derek Adams last season, who has just managed Morecambe, and their expectation was probably mid-table, if that, and you got them promoted, which with no fans as well. So that's different. We're used to a manager who's used to expectation at playing level and at managing, and it could come back to bite us, because I'm just going to say we do get on the back of players quickly, and sometimes rightly so, because if they aren't putting the effort in, or they aren't performing, rightly so, they do deserve to be criticised. And that's what happens when you play with a big club. You do get easily criticised if you're not playing, and you can hear it. So that is the problem, and it could be a reason why we don't do well this season, because of the expectation. And with Valley Parade, it will either make Valley Parade a cauldron like last season, or we'll make it a flamboyant atmosphere like an Ibrox or a Celtic Park Hill, with that sort of atmosphere, or it'll be a cauldron. And we have to take accountability, because if the side aren't playing well, we have to try and G them up and motivate them. But also, it goes both ways. They have to perform, and it'll be interesting to see if they crack under pressure. But we'll get to my predictions. I think we're going to finish in the playoffs at least. I think if we don't come in the playoffs, it is a disaster season. If we come in the playoffs, I'm happy with that, because the last few seasons in League Two, we've come like bottom half, mid-table. I don't think we've come top half. We might have under Gary Bowyer and Stuart McCall, but that season got cut off anyway. You know, I don't think we've come top half, and playoffs would be an improvement, but would Hughes stay if we don't go up? And I think we'll come fifth, but the problem with League Two is last season it went down to the last game for playoffs and the last game for the title and the last game for automatics. We could come fourth or fifth, but we could be in a title race all season. You know, it don't mean it's a bad season, but you know, I do put things down very easily, and I'm putting City down here. But you know, I just don't think it's going to be an easy season. What with teams improving, we're improving, but there's other teams around us. I'm going to say we're going to go up via the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as the season as some are making out. But I hope it is. Hopefully we win the league, but I'm predicting fifth. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments down below. Sorry to rabbit on. But yeah, let me know your top goal scorer, etc, etc, and let me know where you think we're going to finish. And if you disagree, make sure you tell me why you disagree in the comments down below. Have a good one.